Join me today and come to some of the coolest places Taupo, New Zealand has to offer. I'm going to be bringing you guys to 3 completely different locations in Taupo that are all just a short car ride apart from each other. Right now I'm at the Hookah Falls Trail, the short one in Taupo. There's a car park and it says it's about a 15-minute walk from the car park here, just on the side of the road. Also, as you can hear, there's helicopter tours right around the corner from here too. This is exactly where I am, and the falls are obviously right here, so it's a 15-minute walk from the car park over here to the falls. There's plenty of parking here for kind of just not parking spots, but parking wherever you want. And just right here is the entrance to it. 15 minutes walk. It's a part of the Waikato River walk. So 15 minutes to the falls, and then they have a track and a little bit more. And just so you guys know, don't step on the edge of the cliffs here, I guess. Because this is pretty high up, so they don't want it crumble in from under you, I guess. There's a lot of trees down, I notice, whenever I do these hikes. They cut them and move them off to the side, but an odd number of trees that fall down. That's a big tree too. I've probably only been walking like 3 minutes and I can already kind of see it and hear it from up here, so maybe it's not actually 15 minutes. I think going up will probably take a lot longer because so far the whole time I've been going downhill. Today also calls for a lot of rain, but tomorrow it's supposed to rain all day, so I figured it'd be better to do this today. But I mean, everything wouldn't be so green here if it didn't rain all the time. I think I'm already coming up to the falls. Yeah, I can see them right here. My guess is the reason that it says it's a 15-minute hike is because it'll take 15 minutes to walk back up that. Probably only took like 8 minutes to go down though. Let's see if I could get a good view for you guys. Wow. Here is a view, kind of, if I don't fall off. I'm gonna see if there's a bridge or something so I could bring you guys to that other side. Maybe it is 15 minutes because there's another path that keeps going, so I don't think that's the main lookout. That's just one of the lookouts. I didn't even know about Hookah Falls because I didn't do too much research on Taupo before I got here. But I found out about it. I got a rock in my shoe. I don't know how. So what I was saying before I got that sharp rock in my shoe, it's still in my shoe by the way. I'm trying to find a good spot to sit down so I can take my shoe off. But I found out about it because I was looking around on Snap Maps trying to see what was going on over here. I put the Hookah Falls lookout on my Google Maps, but if you just put Hookah Falls on Google Maps, it should bring you to this car park that's down here, so you don't have to do the 15-minute walk. But if you want to do the walk, that works for you too. There is one significant difference from this car park and the one that I'm at, besides the 15-minute walk that I had to take down to get here. But it's that this parking lot has a 30-minute time limit for parking. The one I'm at doesn't have any time limit. So if you want to take longer than 30 minutes, I'd recommend parking up there and walking down. I'm not sure how well you can hear me. Right at this car park are the falls, then the bridge that goes over them. There's quite a bit of people here, as you can see, while taking pictures and everything, but I also see a sign that the car park for these falls actually closes at 5:30 p.m. The one I was at, I don't think that one closes. This water is so blue, it's unbelievable, and I've never seen a waterfall quite like this. Normally when I think of a waterfall, it's just tall and straight down, but this is a gradual decrease. I think the main part of the waterfall is over here at the end of this path. Now sorry if it's hard to hear me because it's that loud in person too. Right over there on the other side, I'm not sure if you can see it right there. That's the area that I was standing at. That's the trail from the car park is at. I gotta say these are definitely worth the time to come look at. They don't take too long. They're just right outside of Taupo. And they're completely free to come view, and this is amazing. The water's so blue, and it's like a super long waterfall that's mostly rapids until right here, and then it goes back into the Waikato, I think it is, river. And there's plenty of different little viewing point areas here all along on both sides. The one on that side is not as near as good as any of them on this side or as on the bridge. The falls were beautiful. I'm going to head up back to the car park now and head on to the next location. And just like that, I got in my car, took a 4-minute drive down the road. It is 2 kilometers away from the car park that I was at for Huka Falls. I'm now at Craters of the Moon in Taupo, New Zealand. It says there's a small admission fee on the sign, but online it said it's free, so I'm gonna see what it is and let you guys know. And Craters of the Moon is a geothermal walk, and they actually have the prices right here, so $10 for an adult. So it's pretty cheap. I just checked in at the front counter and was told it's about a 45-minute walk. 45 minutes to an hour because they have a couple little loops that go off of it. But here, this is a nice little overlook right at the start. Looks like it's about to rain too, so hopefully it doesn't rain too hard on me, but I think it will rain. I can only assume that this entire trail here is just going to be a nice little gravel trail. The pieces of rock on it aren't too big. I think by geothermal park or geothermal area, it normally just means there's steam vents. And they said one of them is really loud, so I'm going to try and find that one, but it's just steam vents that come out of the ground. This boardwalk part that I'm on right now reminds me of Yellowstone National Park around their thermal areas. That might actually be a whole thermal spring over there. I could be wrong about just the steam vent part. I think that this right here is why they call it Craters of the Moon. There's a huge crater with steam coming out of it. And there's a platform that goes right up to it, so you could get a good look at it. It smells just like sulfur, just like the ones in Rotorua smelled like too. All geothermal vents and stuff like that normally stinks. For $10, this park is pretty cool. If it was more than $10, it still might be pretty cool. It is pretty cool. There's just steam vents everywhere. Back there, the wind was so loud, I knew the video wouldn't be able to pick it up, but you could hear one of them. But that's not the loudest one here either, so I wonder how loud the loudest one here actually is. You guys are going to want to keep on watching because I have one more stop after this park at Huka Honey. As long as it's still open. I think it's supposed to be open till 5, so I've got plenty of time. This one's quite cool. It's filled with plants. The other ones were kind of empty, and some red rocks in there too. I can't really hear any of the steam coming out, but obviously you can see it. I'm still looking for the one that you can hear it. If you're wondering what Huka Honey is, it's a little honey farm. They have free tours and free samples while you take a tour. I think the tours are self-guided, but I'll have to find that out. I'll tell you more about that once I get there. I've made quite a bit of progress so far. Obviously right here you start at the car park, and I've done everything up to right here. And I'm gonna go check out the mud crater right now. But I think right here is the steam vent that you can supposedly hear. I also have seen a couple signs here saying that if a siren sounds for more than 1 minute straight, vacate the park immediately. Now I don't know how bad that is, if a siren sounds that long here, but sounds like I wouldn't want to be in the park. Here's the little mud crater. Although it looks like it's pretty dry right now, I'm sure at some points it actually starts boiling water down there. I can hear the steam vents behind me. I don't know if I almost fell down the stairs. I don't know if the video's picking it up or not. I have walked a little bit further. I'm gonna go ahead and do the overlook loop here. And then after, I think I'm gonna backtrack a little bit and go up to the loudest steam vent. It's not too bad, but there's definitely quite the elevation gain on this path to the lookout. I think you can hear the steam vent. That's their most active steam vent. Wow. It's really loud. You get a pretty good view from up here. You can tell by how small the paths look from up here that there is a pretty big elevation gain. And it's not that long of an area that you actually hike up, because I was just around down there and the steam vent, the most active steam vent, was only 60 meters from that. So I just went right up the path up the mountain here. Great views from up here though. Even though it's not that hot out, it's not hot at all actually. I'm still pretty hot because I'm wearing a windbreaker. My universal windbreaker. I love this windbreaker. But then I was also wearing my red jacket that you guys know from every single video so far under it. But before I got up here, it was pretty cold. So I guess this warms you up too if you're here. These views are so good. Way off in the distance there, over the mountains right there, you can see Lake Taupo. And you get a pretty good view of the entire city. You also have a view off in the other direction, a lot of deforest area. I don't know what the point of that is. I don't know if they're harvesting those trees or they had some type of disease and had to take them all out. I think the view on the portion of the track going down is even slightly better than it is from all the way up there, although you can't see the lake from down here. And these flowers are really bright too. They stuck out to me, so I wanted to show them to you guys. Watch your step when you're walking out here, because I saw multiple pieces of pig poop, and there was a sign warning that there may be like wild pigs from the game reserve next door. Sometimes they wander over, so they must have been over here recently, because I saw multiple poop pieces. It took maybe 10 more minutes to get up or back to here after I finished the lookout loop, and right now I think you could hear it. It's the most active steam vent here. That thing's making a lot of noise. Now I don't know if you guys can hear me well, but I can barely even hear myself, so I apologize, but nothing I could do about that. It seems like there is also a mud puddle down here, so I kind of see water boiling right at the steam vent there behind the steam. I think sometimes it probably erupts a little bit and spits water down into that area, or it just travels through the sand. There's also another steam vent right here that you can hear, but isn't as near as loud. Right here. It's talking about how this was a tourist attraction even from the late 1800s. I'm currently headed back towards the car park now. I think it's only about like a 10-minute walk from the most active steam vent. For its low cost and location and proximity to the Taupo town center, Craters of the Moon Park is definitely a good deal. I give this a 10 out of 10. I definitely recommend you guys come check this out. It's beautiful, cheap, and provides at least an hour of entertainment. That's if you just walk the whole thing straight through without stopping to look at anything. And just like that, I'm back at the car park, but I'm going to bring you guys to Hookah Honey, so keep watching. And in the gift shop there, I bought this New Zealand beanie, and it was only $11.60, so pretty cheap. I've been looking for an All Blacks one, and I saw them for like $40 was the cheapest I found one, and it was ugly. So this is gonna have to do. Now off to Hookah Honey. I just arrived at the Hookah Honey Hive, and it's right down the street from Hookah Falls. It's like a 1-minute drive from the Overlook car park that I parked at earlier. So if you're coming to the Hookah Falls and the Honey Hive, you might as well do both at the same time instead of crossing the street and driving a couple of kilometers. I'm gonna go inside, check it out. There's a sign saying they have free tastings of honey and mead. I'm not sure if I should be doing this first. I'll find out when I go inside, but they have a whole little garden here showcasing all different types of plants and flowers that are native and that attract bees. So it's pretty interesting. Even a little picture opportunity. Too bad I don't have anybody to get a picture with in there. And welcome to the Hookah Honey Hive. I apologize because I have to do a voiceover for this part of the video. They had some pretty loud music playing in there and I didn't want to get a copyright strike. But they had plenty of different things in here. Everything was honey based. They had skincare, different soaps, obviously honey that you can eat and plenty of different types of it. None of it was too expensive, and all of it was sourced from New Zealand and mostly local areas. Here the prices were better than if you bought it at most of the stands. The only place I'd say was cheaper would be a supermarket. You could sample pretty much any kind of honey that they had for sale in there, and then you could also sample all the different wines, mead, and skincare products that they had. And besides all the honey in there, they also had a nice little cafe that had different stuff like coffee and ice cream available. The Hookah Honey Hive isn't something you'd spend all day at, but it's pretty cool. You could go in there and taste all different types of honey. They had a ton of honey from all over New Zealand, all New Zealand honey too. And I think my favorite ones were probably the Lord of the Rings one and the Hobbit ones, but just because I think it's cool that they harvested the honey from hives that they have in the Hobbiton movie set area, and by the, I forget what mountain it is, but one of the mountains from Lord of the Rings, they have beehive boxes on it and they harvest the honey from those. And I'm outside now in their little bee garden. They have some signs talking about how to attract bees to your garden, and I don't know why some of these bees are just like flying and drowning in the water there, but they are. Interesting choice. There's a little hive box here and a nice little trail that goes through here. Some beautiful flowers. Not too big, it's just showing you the type of plants that bees like. Right next to that little area here, they have a little picnic area. I'm sure in brighter days and during the summer months, they have it open to eat at. The little cafe in there, they probably serve the food and people come eat out here. But this is a nice little side stop. There's plenty of free samples even if you don't want to buy anything. And there was some honey options that weren't too expensive compared to the other places I've seen in New Zealand. Obviously, a grocery store will probably have your cheapest price, but it's not going to be the good honey that they have here. I think that's all for today's video. I really appreciate you guys watching all the way until the end. If you could, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe if you aren't already. And stay tuned because I have plenty of great future content coming for you guys. Have a good one.